tell you that I love you 100 times a day. You'll get tired of my voice, that's how much I'm gonna tell you that I'll miss you. I'll miss you if you go.
Hello everyone, got some vlogception happening here because I'm filming a food favourites video. What are you up to?
Working out.
Huh?
Working out.
So he is starting with this log storage that we've had sitting around for a while, because this is where our logs are stored currently, just in the thing they were delivered in. Yeah. So Alex, sorry, he got this nice little store which we thought would look cute against the garage.
Yeah.
I think you should probably leave a little gap though, because
no, you're supposed to leave a gap.
There's that thing there. Does it need to go to the left, to the right of that?
What, sorry?
Because there's the manhole cover.
Well, I just place it between the power and the wall.
Well, I suppose if you really needed to get in there, it can be moved.
Nothing goes through there anymore.
Okay.
Remember?
Okay. Oh, you got a spider on your shoulder.
Oh, he's come back.
So yeah, this can sit in front of the garage, and then we can store our logs there, and it will look very cute. And then we could do with cleaning all these weeds and painting this wall.
Like my workout shoes.
Perfect.
That's what all builders use.
Good morning everyone. It is Thursday and I'm heading off for a hair appointment. My reversing camera is covered in water apparently because it's not working. I can't see anything out of the camera. You're probably gonna go flying in a second, but I thought I would just start the vlog on the way out. Gosh, everything is steamed up, so like all of my devices to reverse. This is when you capture me crashing my car. All of them aren't. Oh, and also there's our bin in the driveway. Our green waste bin. Let's hope no one's coming. Maybe I'll talk to you in a second. Right, so I'm on my way. I'm not gonna vlog because you're about to go flying, but hopefully I'll have some nice glamorous hair today, though I just washed it 2 days ago. I've got such a schedule with washing my hair that I wash it every like 5 or 6 days. So it's like nice. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to wash it and ruin all the effort, but it will look gorgeous because Goldbird always makes my hair look lovely. But anyway, I'm going to stop because it's probably bobbling and making noise. I'm here, so let's do a cute little before and after. My hair's actually looking great at the minute. I'm really happy with how it's like fading, but it is a bit more red and lighter at the ends than it is at the top. And I don't know if you can see, I've got quite a few greys coming through. I don't think I'm having a haircut today, but yeah, let's go.
I tell your mama, I tell your papa too.
Hello, I'm back in the car. Lighting is awful. I'll probably show you my hair properly when I get home. So they've done a lovely blow dry and they pinned it up, which is cool. And we've cut these a lot shorter, so they're like nose length, because I think going for a fringe is too much. But the length they were sitting at was not flattering me at all. And I love these pieces now. I just think it looks so nice. And I've cut it shorter so that by the time I go back, they will have grown out, because I'm not going back till Christmas time. It was raining outside though, so I feel like, oh no, it's okay. But yeah, all freshly dyed. I had a treatment, a botanical treatment. So I go to Goldbird and they have all the Aveda products. So my hair dye is Aveda, and then I always get a treatment which makes your hair feel like feather. Like, I feel like I have a head full of feathers because it's so light. I think originally I was like, oh, just a trim, but Sammy pointed out that there was quite a bit. You could see where it was a bit, you know, when your hair just looks thin at the end. My hair always does that when it gets to a certain length. Like when it gets to the longer length that it was, the ends just break and they never look as healthy. So it is what it is. You don't want to have like dead ends on your hair. That doesn't look as good as when it's all fresh. So I also got Sabzi because I had to. I'm not going to eat all of it now because I'm in the car and I'd rather go home and eat it. But I'm going to have a bite because I am really hungry. I only had a protein shake for breakfast because I left it so late. Let me show you this epic box. I would kill for Sabzi in Hale. Look at that. So you have dal on top of all of their different salads, and they always have different seasonal salads. I think they always have their dal and they always have their hummus. And I'm pretty sure they always do potatoes, but the potatoes vary. They like season them differently, and then they always have different salads and coleslaws. It's just my favourite food place to go to because I just love that kind of vibe. It's all vegetarian and absolutely delicious. They've got one in Falmouth, and I think they've just opened one in Padstow. So Sabzi, if you're watching this, please could you open one in Hale or St Ives or Helston, anywhere further down, please. Probably you haven't, because you probably live further up in Cornwall. It's just so full of flavour. What a treat. Because I've been cooking so much. I've been cooking everything. It's so nice to eat food that you haven't cooked. And if you get the ultimate Sabzi box, it's a really, really massive portion, which is great. Let's go back to listening to my podcast. I was listening to the Stephen Bartlett one about junk food. So it's called The Junk Food Doctor. I don't know if that's something that he's called himself or if that's something that Stephen Bartlett's called himself. His name is Dr. Chris Van Tulleken, and it's very interesting because I was about to listen to it and thinking, gosh, is it going to be another person saying that, you know, people need to start minding what they eat and do better, and kind of put the onus on the individual, because that sometimes is the message that you hear from people who are very like into health foods and eating whole foods and cooking from scratch and stuff. And I've really tried to veer away from that, and on my channel I always try and be as inclusive as possible, because I'm so fully aware that so many people cannot cook from scratch or eat fresh foods, and that's why I try and make it more accessible and make it more budget friendly. Obviously there's still going to be situations where it's not going to be fitting for people, so I find the narrative that anyone can just change their diet and eat healthier so irritating in 2023. But he is great because he's actually talking about the fact that it's a societal issue, an environmental issue, like a social justice issue essentially, that people can't afford to eat healthily anymore, and that's why people eat ultra processed foods, because there's a whole group of people in the UK who literally don't have the money, they don't have access to fresh foods, or they literally don't have the equipment in their kitchen. They have a microwave and that's it, or they don't have the time because they're working so much to just look after themselves and their families. I'm assuming most of you watching probably aren't in those categories. Some of you might be struggling a lot with money as well, and maybe you've been eating more processed foods because you're working more. Like, I feel like it's whatever scale you're on, everyone's feeling the cost of living at the minute, and yeah, when it comes to talking about like junk food or versus whole foods, it is a tricky thing. I think even for me, from my personal experience, when I have had bad mental health, I eat so much more processed foods because I do not have the energy to cook from scratch, or if I am cooking from scratch, it's just for videos, and then outside of that, I'm like worn down. So then I just have, you know, something from M&S, or even, you know, vegan processed foods like vegan burgers or vegan pizzas, or just easy convenience foods like just making like a sandwich with vegan cheese. I do it so much more when I'm stressed out, and I think even on just a very basic level, it's a nuanced conversation. So anyway, the long and short of it is that this is a very interesting conversation because he's talking about it from an economical point of view and a nuanced point of view, which is much more interesting than someone just harping on about how people should be eating more fresh foods. And that's the problem with the obesity epidemic, when it's actually much deeper than that, and it's much more to do with our governments, capitalism, the cost of living crisis, all that kind of stuff. It's all plays a part, because people would love to eat fresh foods and healthy foods. Of course they would, if they were able to, but there's lots of barriers, aren't there? And I'm preaching to the choir. Probably all of you are fully aware of this and have experienced it or know it, but yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, I need to shut the hell up and go home. Good morning. We are starting Operation Office Makeover. My dad is here. We are going to start by trying to clean the outside of this office because our roof is covered in moss and we have never cleaned the tiles and there's lots of trees, so I think that's why that's happened. We're going to get up on the ladder with a brush and a hose and try and do our best and see where we go. So like our plan basically for this office is to clean it all, repaint it, and then maybe work on the inside to give it a kind of mini makeover. In the future, I'd love to really put some money into renovating the inside and making it like the dream office space. But for now, I think we can totally do this on a budget and DIY it ourselves. Me and Alex are in a phase where we're just fed up of builders. So we want to do it ourselves and we'll take you along because it's like an outdoor space. It's a space that's not in our house. We can do it in our own time and it's not going to interfere too much. There might be a period of time where it interferes a little bit with work, but we can just like move, we can like create a temporary office space somewhere else, couldn't we? And I thought also for those of you watching who are on a budget or wanting to do things yourself, hopefully this will be interesting. As the videos go on, we can share our tips for trying to do it on a budget because we don't have the money right now to be spending, but we really want it done. So we're going to be on a budget of literally just buying materials and that's it. We're not paying any tradesmen and we're going to try and find some, cut some corners. So yeah, today the plan is to clean the roof and we'll see how we get on with that. And then in the future, we want to power wash the outside of the office, paint it. We need to decide a colour. I kind of want to go for like a slate blue and paint it the same colour as our front door and back door that I'm going to paint. I haven't done that yet. And then the only thing in the future we may have to spend money on, which is kind of why we can't afford to do the office, is our door to the office because it's broken. We need to speak to somebody about whether it can be fixed because I really don't want to spend the money on a new door. There are other things. It's just too much money and I would rather it get fixed, but we need to speak to someone to see if it's beyond repair because it doesn't really open and close at the minute because it's split, which is not great. But anyway, the inside as well, we can do things like painting, putting up pictures. We want to kind of fix the kitchen area because the worktop isn't long enough. Maybe paint the tiles, get some secondhand furniture and just make it really kind of cozy in there because right now it's really lacking that warmth and I think we can inject that into it. And it's also the thing that's visible from the road and from when you first come to the house, so I want it to look lovely. So let's get outside and clean this roof.
Tile.
Okay, lots of progress has been made. Outside, I'll show you shortly. I'm just going to be doing some cooking now. My lovely blow dry that I had yesterday has just gone out the window. I feel like I have, look at it. I feel like I have this habit of every time I get my hair done, the next day I decide to get in the garden or do some kind of something that's going to ruin my hair. Yeah, we've managed to do one half of the roof. We didn't pressure wash it because I did Google that, and while lots of people say to pressure wash, lots of people also say not to. So we're just erring on the side of caution because I think it can damage the tiles, and also water could get inside. I don't really want to cause a bigger problem for the sake of convenience. So we used a hoe from the garden just to scrape the moss off, and then we're using a hose to get the excess off, which is obviously way lighter than a pressure washer, and it's worked really well. So we're going to do the same on the other side. Obviously it doesn't need to be perfect because we obviously have trees, and nature will make things like that happen again. It just means we just need to stay on top of it every year, like give it a clean every year, and at some point potentially it might need retiling, but hopefully not for a few years. But yeah, I'm so happy to get that done because it means then we can power wash the actual office and do a fun thing of painting. Though we do have, I think, a fascia to replace, which we're going to attempt to do ourselves. We'll see how that goes. Hello.
Hi. Welcome back to my channel.
Well, we're not welcoming back because the video's already begun.
I know, but it's always fun to say.
It's
keep the viewers engaged.
It's raining today. So and it's been raining quite a lot, so the plans to like do the office, obviously you saw us doing one side of the roof. That went really well, we managed to do the whole side, but because it's been raining so much, it's not been nice weather. It's been either raining or like crazy wind, so it's not really been the ideal weather for doing the other side. So what we're going to do now is we're going to B&Q to look at paints for the office. I might get some samples and also look for a different kind of tool, because we didn't want to power wash because we were worried that would destroy the tiles, but we were just using a garden hoe, which obviously is not designed for that kind of thing. We were just using it to scrape the moss off. So I'm wondering if they have a more, I don't know, some kind of tool that we could use for it. One development though, slightly related to the office, is that we bought a new sofa on eBay. Obviously not new, secondhand, and it's because the sofa we got for our living room, while it's lovely, it's just very small and not the comfiest to sleep on and to lie on to watch TV. It's like a more of a sort of sitting formal sofa.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bothering me and Alex, and you make these kinds of mistakes because you don't really know what you're doing when you're renovating half the time. And we had the big sofas in there, they were too big, then we went too small, and so we found this one on eBay. It's from Oka, which is a really like expensive designer interior brand. So I bid on it, I won it. It's in Penzance, and it's a sectional sofa, so not all the sections will fit in the living room. So I was thinking that some of the other sections could go in the office, or the sofa that's currently in the living room could go in the office, so it will bring some life and some coziness into that space. And you won't see that, I don't know, you won't probably see that in this video, but that I'll show you kind of like my thoughts, and maybe we could also pop the sofa that we do have in the office on Marketplace and do some sorting underneath, because our office, I think that what happened was we moved into it when we first moved house, just put all our stuff in there. We've sorted it out a couple times. We've done that before. I kind of have an urge to paint the inside of the office whatever colour we paint the outside, like kind of do the colour everywhere.
Interesting.
Or paint it all white, because it's white currently, but it needs obviously it just needs some character. Something in there just doesn't feel right. I'm also low-key tempted to like panel the room ourselves with the MDF paneling, but I don't know whether I'll really regret that process. Anyway, we'll talk about it later. Uh-oh. Alex, look.
Oh. Oh my god. Can we get him? Can we take him home?
Is he soft?
Yeah,
So this makes me excited. It's the 1st of November tomorrow, which means Christmas.
Thanksgiving. Oh.
No, Christmas music's going on tomorrow. So we're thinking of bluey greys. So this was one I actually tested for the hallway. The hallway is it Palmer Grey?
Don't know.
I can't remember. I feel like it is, you know. It's not Lol, yeah, it is Palmer Grey in the hallway, which is tempting to do that as well. But I feel like we should go for the other, weirdly, the other colours that were going to go in the hallway, like that are more grey, like denims or oval room blue. What do you think?
This is inside the
No,
office.
for outside the office, sweetheart. It's
Oh,
hard.
so, right. So you're
I have,
looking to
do you know what, it's really stupid that we've come here because I literally have those samples at home.
Don't want one
Exciting times.
that's all kind of built in.
I hate the colour of that. I don't want a yellow hose, I want a green hose. That's what's all built in?
Oh yeah. I don't know if it's long enough. 25 metres. No,
How long's that one?
45.
Well then why don't you just get that? Or it won't fit on it. I want to put it on the wall though.
Yeah.
I don't like those plasticky ones.
You want the metal?
Yeah, on the wall.
You don't want one that loops.
Yeah, I do, but on the wall.
Yeah.
You can buy that separate. I looked online.
Does anyone else out there care what colour their hose is?
100% my audience do. You're going to lose on this one. Okay, we've just seen this, which has the wall attachment, and it's green.
Is it green there?
Yeah?
Is that green?
Yeah. Alex, you're a bit colourblind. It is green. It's like a sage green.
That's green, okay.
Wait, it's like a grey.
Grey.
It's the same as these, I think, but...
Okay.
Right, so we've got our hose, we've got a heavier brush and a scrapey tool, and then one sample. So success. It's the next day and we're about to go pick up our sofa for in here. This is kind of the before. This is our current sofa. I think it's from Sofa. I really like this sofa. It's not that we don't. It's cute. I love the way it looks, especially in this room. It's very cottagey. It's a nice small sofa. It doesn't have like cushion back, so it's very narrow, which is good. But it's small. Me and Alex are both 6 foot and over. Alex is 6'3", I'm 6 foot, so we're just too long for it. And in the evening when I'm lying on it, I feel like I'm about to fall off because I'm not a small person. And when we first moved into this room, I don't know if you remember, I'll put some videos or pictures, we had a really big sofa and then 2 really big armchairs. We had a love seat and then a massive armchair and then a massive sofa. We donated both of those to, all 3 of them, to my sister and brother-in-law, who are now using them in their new house, and they look so good. And we basically were like, it's too big in this room, it makes it really narrow, it doesn't look right, and it didn't. But I think what I did is we went too far in the other direction, where we now have a very small sofa and 2 small armchairs, which means that our main living space that we watch TV in isn't the most comfortable, and it looks really pretty. And maybe the after, in fact, I probably won't like the way it looks as much as it looks currently, because I do love the whole kind of very traditional looking sofas. I'll show you up close in a second. And the sofa we're getting, it's a sectional and it's a bit more modern in style. It is from Oka, so it's a designer sofa. Did I say this? I feel like I'm very disjointed in this vlog, but we got a sofa on eBay, it's from Oka. And it's more of a modern style, but it's plain. It's linen, it's I think a creamy white colour, so it's not the sort of thing that I think anyone else is going to notice. And really when it comes to your home, you have to weigh up cost, you have to weigh up practicality, and then you have to think about the way it looks. Realistically, I can't fit a really big plush country old-fashioned looking sofa in here in the style that I want, because they tend to have these kind of sloped backs and they become really deep. Also, they are always filled with feathers, and I don't want to buy a new feather sofa. Buying a second-hand feather sofa is even harder and still very expensive, because they're few and far between and you have to get them delivered to you or collect it from somewhere. So it's just been a hurdle for us. And so getting a sofa second-hand is the best option. So that's the reason. This sofa's not going anywhere. We're probably going to move it into our office or move it into one of the bedrooms. We're going to basically try it in different spaces and see what we think. And if we really can't make it work, we will sell it. But it's the sort of thing that you just have to experience and live in a home before you get it right. Enough chat from me. Let me show you what it looks like currently, and then we're going to run and get, we're not going to run, we're going to drive and get the sofa. So here it is, very cute. We always put a rug on it because of this demon. And this is all the pictures we want to hang in the hallway. They've just kind of been sitting there for a long time. So the new sofa is sectional, so it will have 2 corner units and then 1 in between. And then there's an ottoman as well. And then it has 2 extra armchairs, which you can use as sectional pieces. However, they don't have cushion backs, which she actually only just rung us and told us about on the phone just now, which is a little bit of a predicament, but I think it's okay, because we're not going to fit the whole sectional in this room anyway. So it'll probably come a little bit further this way, and then it will go probably nearly all the way to the hearth. We'll probably have to change this table for a smaller one or move it, but yeah, hopefully it will be basically like this, and then the ottoman can be like an extra little bit there or an extra little bit here. We'll play around with it. These are our chairs I mentioned. I love them so much. There's nothing I love more than this. Like, look how gorgeous that looks. But they're not big, cushiony, squishy chairs, because we have a very narrow living area, which means when you walk in the room, if you have anything bigger, it just stops you from being able to walk in properly. Again, these might be ones that I come across a vintage pair of armchairs that are deep and cushiony and fit the space, but I do love these how they are now, just for the way they look, and they are very comfortable actually, but I wouldn't say no to changing them in the future. I don't know, it's a evolving space always in your home. But this is the before. I'll show you the after. I want to get some different cushions. I've said this before. These cushions I obviously got, and they're all very matchy. It's all very one colour, and I think I need contrast. So I think I need to get like yellowy tones, maybe some reddy tones, purpley tones, because a lot of the paintings have purples and pinks and yellows, as does our curtains. There's yellows and purples in here. So yeah, really fingers crossed we don't bring it in and I hate it. I don't think that will happen though. I even said to Alex, I was like, oh no, is it going to look really modern in here? And he was like, it's so old fashioned in this room, I don't think that's something you need to worry about. And in fact, it might inject a little bit of a contemporary feel in here, because this is the one room. I think all our other rooms, we have balanced contemporary and old fashioned or traditional quite well. Like the kitchen, it feels traditional and contemporary, and same as the bedrooms, I feel. Anyway, maybe you disagree, maybe you think they look old and fuddy-duddy, but I think they have an element of some modern things in them. But this is the room that is quite old-fashioned, and I feel like, I don't know, I wouldn't want someone to come in here and think we've just not decorated. Like it's just like a grandma's living room. So maybe the sofa will help. We'll see. So we've just got here, but we're trying to figure out how it will fit, because there's two corner pieces that are huge. Fingers crossed we can get some of it home. We've got most of it in. Alex is attempting to take the legs off, the bigger pieces, but because they've been screwed in for a while, they are not unscrewing. So that might be a situation that we have to figure out tomorrow, but we'll try. We've got most of it in. Uh-oh. We're back home. I'm still on our normal sofa. We got most of the sofa, but annoyingly the corner pieces were like this much off. So I'm gonna have to leave you on a cliffhanger, unfortunately. Not that it's much of a cliffhanger, it's a bloomin' sofa. But I will show you how it is next time, because tomorrow's the day I have to upload this video, so I don't have an extra day to wait to show you, otherwise I would. I'm not doing it to be annoying. And this video actually originally started out as being me doing the office makeover, but it has been such torrential rain and horrible stormy weather ever since last week that I just haven't had a day where it's been possible for me to continue. So there's that. Like, we got the samples the other day, and it's been pouring with rain since. Well, this morning, was it raining? I don't think it was raining this morning, but I had 2 meetings, so I couldn't do it this morning. But the sofa itself is gorgeous. It's such good quality. It's from Ochre, and it's like 10 years old, so obviously it's worn down. But if you buy an Ochre sofa now, they're very expensive, and I think they're modular sofas, they're sectional sofas. Each individual part is like thousands of pounds, which blows my mind. And it's a really good quality sofa. It's obviously used, it's got some wear and tear, it's got some marks. You can see where the seams are, like, you know, it's used. But we do live in a farmhouse, and we have a cat and a dog. And even when I bought new things, and this is my like bit of advice to you, if you are somebody who buys new furniture or who wants new things all the time, just remember that new stuff does not stay new. Anything we have bought that's new ends up looking older or ends up getting worn down eventually anyway, and if anything it's just lower quality because it's not vintage, or it's not from a brand that I could afford. So I could not afford to get a new ochre sofa, so the furniture that we've owned that is new will be from a more affordable standpoint, if that makes sense. So buying secondhand, even if it is old, you get higher quality things that you maybe aren't in your budget anyway, and things get ruined and old anyway. And it's something I've learned also with renovating. Like, you can renovate a room and paint it and make it all perfect, and it will end up with cracks, you'll get cobwebs, things will break, you'll get marks on it. So just, it doesn't matter. I think when it comes, we will probably give it a good wash. She did say it's quite difficult to get it back on, but yeah, it's just so nice and it's really squishy. Obviously it's feather, it's like a feather sofa, which I would never buy new, but secondhand I would, because it's going to be more comfortable, it's more squishy, and she's moving house, so they're not getting rid of it because there's anything wrong with it. So I'm very excited for when we can get those corner pieces. All the pieces of the sofa are currently sitting in our cars still, because it is pouring with rain and it is like no.
Spooky rain.
I hate you. Oh my god, Alex. Oh my. Does anyone else have a evil husband or wife like this?
I didn't get you yesterday on Halloween.
Huh?
I didn't get you yesterday on Halloween.
No, you didn't.
I didn't.
I am so easily scared as well. Oh my god, the camera's gone. I'm so easily scared. That went through me. Anyway, I'll say goodbye. We'll get the sofa out next time.
Yeah.
I just don't really feel like... Do you feel like going out in the dark, in the rain? I don't.
I don't think it's going to get through the front door, and I'm not walking around this.
Oh, it probably won't, will it? We've got a tiny front door.
Where's it going to go?
Because this is a farmhouse. Our front door is the old back door. So that would have been the yard for the cows. And our front door is our back door. Yeah. So I think that the driveway used to be that way, based on what our neighbours said.
Yes.
Because our office used to be the where that office was, where that was the driveway.
Yeah.
For the month of November, I shared it on Instagram. I'm doing one video a week, just off the back of doing 30 days of vegan, and with Vlogmas coming up, I'm trying to sort of figure out my balance of life and work and everything, and sometimes you've just got more stuff going on. So just for this month, that's what I'm doing, and hopefully it can mean that I can vlog the whole week and share more enjoyable content in a vlog, rather than me just kind of... I felt like recently, maybe you haven't noticed, but some of my vlogs recently, I felt a little bit like I'm just kind of filming quite boring things, and I don't want to be putting up boring videos for you. I'd rather film what I'm doing that week, if it's renovating or if it's like a nice reset or a food related video. I feel like that would be more worthwhile for you, and for me as well, having a bit more balance. And if you aren't following me on Instagram and TikTok, then definitely go over there, because I'm going to be posting on there and on shorts. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and hopefully the next video in this installment will make a little bit more progress with the office. So I'm going away to London next week. Yeah, next week. So it all depends on that kind of stuff, but we'll see. It will be a nice project that we'll get our way through, and hopefully I can show you the sofa as well. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.